It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, I'm back. I hope you had a great weekend. What's happening, everybody? Geno Jones, Showtime. Bam! You see my name. You see that name behind me? So I'll come to you live Monday through Friday, normal start dates and start times. There was no live show Friday. As a matter of fact, I'm the king of MCs. The king of MCs. We have a hockey team here, the South Carolina Stingrays. Let's go Rays! So I had to MC the hockey game. Tell everybody to subscribe as I step off camera here. You know, Satan doesn't sleep. The enemy's always busy, but that's okay. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the normal start days and times for the Geno Jones Show. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time out on the West Coast. Tell everybody, I mean everybody, to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. I'm about 48 new subscribers from becoming a YouTube partner. That means that YouTube will monetize my channel, this channel, and my media company. Speaking of media company and supporting financially, it is so important we support Black-owned media, so you could be a sponsor like Courtney Johnson. Shout out to CojoLLC.com, CoJoLLC.com. If you are looking to buy or sell a home in the Carolinas, reach out to my girl, Courtney Johnson. Tell her you were watching the Geno Jones Show. She's got you. You can go to CoJoLLC.com. You can contact her there, or you can give her a call and say, hey, you were watching the Geno Jones Show, and you're in the Carolinas, looking to sell a home, buy a home. Maybe you're tired of the cold weather in the Midwest, up north, and you want to come on down to the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina. 843-543-4022. That's an 843 area code. 543-4022. Let's get right into the show. So you've been hearing me talk about let's anti-DEI everything. Since you've got this MAGA cult or racist regime that came in on day one, and basically they got companies, a lot of these CEOs and billionaires that were at the inauguration to eliminate their anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. How did that work out for you, Target? Not so well. Not at all. Not when your company lost $12 billion in value in about 6-7 months. Oh, don't worry, Target. We're not done with you. I'm going to get to that in a second. But I'm good with it. I said, okay, fine. Let's anti-DEI everything. And we, as African Americans, or just those of African descent, the entire diaspora globally, we're going to reverse engineer this anti-DEI thing. How about we're going to anti-DEI our talent and our treasure? Let's anti-DEI our money and our talent, which leads me to something that happened over the weekend. So, University of South Carolina, the Gamecocks, they play about an hour and maybe max an hour and a half, 90 minutes away from the Charleston, South Carolina metro, up in Columbia, South Carolina. That's where the university, the main campus, is in Columbia, South Carolina. That's the capital of South Carolina. So the University of South Carolina, their men's football team, they were playing in College Station, Texas. It's a college town near Bryan, Texas. Texas A&M. And it's literally, the town is called College Station, Texas. So the whole town is Texas A&M. So South Carolina, they were playing Texas A&M. South Carolina, they were winning like 30-3 in the third quarter. They blew this huge lead and lost the game. It's embarrassing. But that's not why I'm sharing this story with you. That's not the thing that was alarming. And I was watching parts of the game in real time, and I saw this kid when he scored a touchdown. So there was a kid, a wide receiver that plays for the University of South Carolina, scored on an 80-yard touchdown pass. He scored and kind of ran up into the tunnel to where the players exit and enter the field, the football field, from the locker rooms. So, he was running. He's like one of the fastest dudes in America. I think, what's the brother's name? Is it Harper? I digress. But the video's all over social media. So it was this kid that just scored a touchdown, a black kid, and another black kid, one of his teammates. They were after, the teammate, after the kid that caught the touchdown, kind of just was running so fast, he couldn't, just ran into the tunnel. So he and a teammate, they turned around and they're walking out of the tunnel back on the field. And this state trooper that was assigned to work to protect the players along with the fans, this old racist MAGA dude, Geno, how do you know he was racist? Easy. Because his actions and his behavior displayed his high, and well, let me explain to you what happened. So the two black teammates from South Carolina were just coming out of the tunnel after the kid from South Carolina scored on his 80-yard touchdown pass. So you get this big burly looking, state trooper, white dude. He intentionally, because the video's all over social media, you can see it, you might have seen it. As the two black kids are coming, this state trooper, this police officer, for whatever reason, he decides that he wants to walk. Now, the teammates are literally walking side by side, coming out of the tunnel. Then all of a sudden, here comes this police officer. And then he intentionally walks in between the two players. And the black kid that scored the touchdown, you can see because people have slowed the video down, because the players are like, okay, what this dude? They tried to avoid the dude. And then the old racist ass cop, state trooper, you can see as he's walking by, the kid that scored the touchdown was on the right. And you can see he intentionally, like, you see him moving his shoulder, intentionally bumping the kid. And so the kid turns around like, hey, man. And then the state trooper is like confronting the kid and like talking, you can see him pointing his finger, and it looks like, he's saying something threatening, you can tell. Which, how do you know it was? I can read body language. Anybody could see that. You could see the hostility on his face. And to prove my point, the asshole state trooper that was working, his assignment was to protect those players, not to try to bully them and intimidate them because he was pissed off that one of the kids from South Carolina just scored a touchdown against his team. So they sent his ass home. But it was like, really, dude? These kids are making not just South Carolina, Texas A&M, 100,000 people in the stands. That university, Texas A&M, made millions of dollars. Millions, tens of millions of dollars. I mean, just TV money, but just the money that they made. You got 100,000 people in the stands, and they're buying concessions and everything else, parking, tens of millions of dollars in one day over the course of 4 or 5 hours. And this asshole state trooper intentionally bumps this kid that's playing in a game, and then points at him in a menacing way. So I get the university was embarrassed. They sent him home. Why am I sharing that story? I'm sharing that story because that's why I said let's anti-DEI. Let's reverse engineer this thing. Let's anti-DEI ourselves, everything, including our talented young men and young women. Stop going to these universities that they didn't even allow, especially in the South, they call the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. They didn't even allow black athletes until the late 70s when the University of Alabama played the University of Southern California, the real USC. I know Gamecock fans, y'all can be in your feelings, it's okay. So the University of Alabama played the University of South Carolina in the late 60s. I think it was 68, maybe 67, 68. And they played in Pasadena, California, the Rose Bowl. And the University of South Carolina, they beat the brakes off the University of Alabama. They beat the brakes off the University of, now keep in mind that USC, University of Southern California, they had a lot of black athletes and their star players were black athletes. As a matter of fact, they had a running back, Sam Bam Cunningham. Man, he ran through the University of Alabama like a grown man playing with toddlers. It was like some bad food that's just running through you. You know, you get some bad food and it just runs right through you like water. They were just running. USC and Sam Bam Cunningham ran through Alabama, beat the brakes off of the University of Alabama so bad. The next season, the University of Alabama had black players on their football team. So the point I'm trying to make is that these universities, and not just the ones in the South, but specifically the ones in the South, they didn't even allow black players on their teams until they got tired of getting their ass beat. And now, virtually every team, not just in the SEC, all these major conferences, the majority of the players are black. But this is what young kids, young black men have to deal with. You got someone in law enforcement whose job is to protect those players. That's his job. His job is to protect the players because he was on the field. So the only reason that he was assigned to be on the field was to protect the athletes on both teams on the field. Not to intimidate and to bump into and try to menace and threaten a player on an opposing team. So yes, it's good they sent his punk ass home. Once again, there's so many stories about, athletes, especially sometimes even now the superstar players, are usually kind of protected, but not always, because they can run into one of these racist cops that may not really be a big fan of sports or football, or just don't like black kids and young black men and women. Once again, let's anti-DEI our talent and our treasure. Just another reason. Now I know this. People say, well, these universities, because, they can pay more NIL money. But listen, the athletes that are really, really talented, the money will follow them, all right? Because they get corporate deals and deals with, either shoe companies. I see kids doing all kind of commercials, insurance companies. So the bottom line is the athletes that are good enough, the money will follow you. The money will follow you. Or to our, we got enough black billionaires and multimillionaires and between the entertainers and the rappers and the black men and women that's in business, we can help some of these, even if we didn't go to a historically black college or university. Hell, if Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, over the last 5 years, Jeff Bezos is Mackenzie Scott, his ex-wife. Mackenzie Scott has donated somewhere north of $500 million, with a B, not million, over $500 million, over $500 million, over $500 million, somewhere north of over $500 million to a variety of HBCUs. There's one here, Voorhees, those little small HBCU here in South Carolina. I just heard she recently, about a week or so ago, she donated, I think I heard a number, 13 million, something like that. She gave, what was it? I'm going to go down the list of all the money just this year alone. Couple colleges she's doubled up. Gave 80 million, gave 30 million a couple years. This is a white woman. So, I mean, I can't think of any black person in America that's got Mackenzie Scott net worth, but there's enough black billionaires and multi-millionaires to where we don't have to depend on the millionaires. Just the rest of us. We may not have Mackenzie Scott money. We may not be able to donate 30 million or 80 million. Maybe we got 300 or 800 or 30 or $80. These universities do not want, they don't want our sons and daughters. They want their talent, they want their bodies to generate billions of dollars for these universities. They don't give a shit about these kids. The majority of these coaches don't give a shit about these kids at these major. Now they'll smile, they'll say the right thing. They'll come and sit in your living room and talk to you, the mom, the dad, the grandparents, and, I'm going to take care of him like he's my son, and I'm going to make sure he gets a good education. They will say whatever the hell they need to say to get that star athlete and his or her body to come to that university to generate revenue. Because the super talented kids, you don't have to play in the SEC to go pro. I promise you. You have a whole section of the Pro Football Hall of Fame of black Hall of Famers who went to HBCUs. Because remember, they call PWI, the big white universities and colleges, they didn't allow black kids in the schools or play for the schools. Really until the 60s, the late 60s. So, fine. Let's anti-DEI our talent. Got to shift that to my young people. Yeah, consider some of these schools. You can turn some of these schools around. Listen, Deion Sanders did what he had to do. He left Jackson State. He went to Colorado. They're getting the brakes beat off them this year. I would have loved for Deion to have stayed, but Deion is a grown man. He made a decision that he felt financially was best for him, and it was best for his son. I don't know how that worked out because one of the sons, they cut his son, one of the sons, Shiloh, I think before the regular season started, and Shador, he got a coach that doesn't like him, that didn't want him. The general manager drafted the kid, and they put Shador in a game. Shador Sanders, the Cleveland Browns, the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, who should be fired. You put this kid in the game, and then after the game, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns said he hadn't gotten any reps, practice with the starters. even in practice. So the guy that he's fond of, the kid Dylan Gabriel, who's not even as talented as Shedeur, but this kid Dylan Gabriel, who a rookie, also like Shedeur Sanders, is starting. Dylan Gabriel and the head coach have the same agent. You can do the math. Put your logical hat on. Just use your brain. Just coincidental. Oh, this kid they draft. Oh, the head coach and the kids got the same agent. Wow. But I digress. The point I'm trying to make is that you don't want to be anywhere where you're not wanted. Now the NFL is kind of tricky because they really Shedeur should have got drafted in the first round, but the owners they don't like Deion Sanders because Deion is confident. And he was advocating for his sons. Now, when the Manning family did that for Eli Manning, it was okay. John Elway, this guy, back in the mid-'80s, his daddy was like, oh, my son, he's not going to play for the Baltimore Colts. He'll go play baseball. Eli Manning, Archie Manning, were like, no, Eli's not going to play for the San Diego Chargers. And the media, primarily white-owned, really, it was all white-owned media, still is for the most part sports media. But they were okay with, a white man advocating for his son, but they had a problem when it was Deion. So the league, they punished Shedeur and Deion because Shedeur is confident in his ability. And then you got a coach that's trying to sabotage the kid, but the head coach, they keep losing. His ass is going to get fired. And some coach will come in there and realize how talented Shedeur is. What if coaches that realize it now, they'll be like, hey, dude, I don't know what Kevin Stefanski was on, what kind of bullshit he was on, but no. So let's anti-DEI our talent and let's anti-DEI our money. I've called the holiday blackout. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. Let's pull our money out of this economy for the entire holiday. Not just Thanksgiving, not just Black Friday, all of Christmas shopping, all of December, New Year's Eve, and I want to shout out once again to the We Ain't Buying It economic boycott, basically saying the same thing. Now, they have targeted 3 major corporations, Amazon, Home Depot, and Target. And this We Ain't Buying It boycott is calling for everybody to boycott Amazon, Home Depot, and Target from Black Friday, which is November 28th, through Cyber Monday, which is December 1st. So I just want to make sure I got those dates right. Yep. From Friday, November 28th, through Monday, December 1st, which is Cyber Monday. So shout out to Black Voters Matter, Latasha Brown. Shout out to you, Latasha. Cliff Averill. They are the co-founders of Black Voters Matter. Indivisible, it's another nonprofit, and Until Freedom. I'm still trying to get Latasha or Cliff or both of them on, and I'm going to reach out to some folks with Indivisible and Until Freedom. But shout out to you all. And so we support the We Ain't Buying It economic boycott because we ain't buying shit. No retailer. You can support Black-owned businesses. That's so important. Small, especially your small businesses that's really been hurting. These tariffs, they've hurt a lot of businesses, even some of the ones that's not so small. But the way to get people's attention and money and power that support this racist regime, and it was at the inauguration sitting right behind Owen Hitler and the ones that were at the damn the Great Gatsby ball and the little party they had in Mar-a-Lago. Well, they had 2 in Mar-a-Lago. 2 in Mar-a-Lago. One was this Great Gatsby, which is a movie about these millionaires in the late 20s that were just living these excessive lives right before the stock market crashed in 29. Hope that's not a foreshadowing, as they say, or precursor, or hopefully history won't repeat itself. Then he had just another event for these billionaires where they had these synchronized swimmers. The way to get people's attention with money and power, and in turn, they will get the attention because now you see your boys backing off the tariffs. And oh, by the way, he claims, Owen Hitler claims, it's tell the Republicans to release the Epstein files. Yeah, okay. Well, look, game recognized game, and we can smell, spot, and see bullshit, Orange Hitler. So we know how that's going to play out. Because first of all, a lot of these Republicans are going to vote to release the Epstein files in the House of Representatives. Then it's going to go to the Senate. And he probably realized there's going to be a lot of these MAGA senators because you sold them and told them you were going to release the Epstein files, and your Attorney General, Ms. Pam Bondi, went on the Fox propaganda channel in February 21st. Oh, we got the Epstein files, and had these MAGA cult members in the MAGA media, gave them these big ass notebooks. Oh, this is like volume 1 of the Epstein files. Then all of a sudden, after they had thousands of employees in the Department of Justice go through all the Epstein files, and then all of a sudden they said, oh, you might want to tell Orange Hitler his name is all through the Epstein files. So when people in the House and enough senators, when they vote to release the Epstein files, the president still has to sign off on it. So I'm just telling you now that whatever Epstein files that are released from this regime and the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi and the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, those Epstein files are going to be blacked out. Severely, the legal term is redacted. To redact something means to basically blot it out, black it out. You'll see all these little black squares, names redacted. I guarantee you, everywhere where it says Donald Trump, that name will be redacted. But we're going to figure out this. But now the Epstein estate sent these released these thousands of emails to not just Democratic members of the House of Representatives. There was a committee that was looking into this, Democrats and Republicans. And how did the Democrats and the Republicans that was part of this committee, shout out to Representative Ro Khanna and a representative out of Kentucky, Thomas Massey, because Ro Khanna happened to be a guest. Shout out to my man Lawrence O'Donnell on MS Now. It was MSNBC as of Saturday. Now they call it MS Now. So Lawrence O'Donnell had an attorney for some of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. So the attorney and some of these women that were victims were a guest on Lawrence O'Donnell's show. And Lawrence happened to say, well, if someone subpoenaed the emails that you have as part of the Epstein estate with the estate, would they comply with the subpoena to release some of the emails? And the attorney said, well, yeah, shit, ain't nobody asked us. Of course we will comply with a subpoena, and we would release these emails that we have as part of the Epstein estate. And Representative Ro Khanna was a guest on the show. And he came on after the lawyer who was representing a couple of the victims that were on Lawrence O'Donnell's show called The Last Word. So Representative Ro Khanna said, well, damn, okay, I guess I better send him a subpoena. He said he would comply with a subpoena, and he would send us emails, from the Epstein estate, and that's how they got out. So no, it wasn't, well, the Democrats and Joe Biden, and no. These were emails from the Epstein estate. And keep in mind, Ghislaine Maxwell, his girlfriend, talking about Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, the one that was recruiting these young girls and it was raping them along with Jeffrey Epstein. And then she was convicted of sex trafficking. Now they just moved her to this little country club prison in Texas, ironically. So I'm just giving you a heads up in terms of that. Just don't expect. If the House and the Senate vote, which they're going to do, I'm just predicting that they're going to vote to release the Epstein files for the Justice Department, because the Department of Justice, they have control. So Pam Bondi, who is the Attorney General, she's the head of the Department of Justice, with her little bad bleach blonde job ass, and of course President Orange Hitler, the occupant in the White House. He will have the final say, because he could veto it, but I don't think he'll do that, because then the House and the Senate could override his veto. They could get enough members of the House and the Senate to say, we are going to override your veto. We're going to force the Department of Justice to release these files. Now, all of a sudden, he also said, well, we're going to investigate. We said Bill Clinton's name was one in the emails, and a guy, Larry Summers, who used to teach at Harvard, and, some other supposedly Democrats or people connected with Democrats. We're going to investigate them. So you see the big name out there, because, Bill Clinton's name was mentioned in a few of the emails, a whole bunch. There's a lot of. So he's going to selectively, let's go after Bill Clinton, try to distract people. Dude, no. I have not seen one picture. Bill Clinton has acknowledged he's known the dude. He said he wouldn't win, but there's not one person that we've seen pictures and videos. There's not one person that we've seen in more pictures and videos with Jeffrey Epstein than Orange Hitler, Donald J. Trump, and the J stands for jackass. And he knows it. And the Department of Justice knows it, which is why all of a sudden when Pam Bondi in February, the Attorney General, says she's got the Epstein files on her desk. And then all of a sudden, they weren't on her desk. They were gone. The dog ate them. The cat peed on them. The cleaning company threw them away by accident. She left the window open and they blew out the window. All kind of crazy. Somebody lit a joint. Somebody lit a joint and put the joint on the Epstein files and they caught fire. Whatever. All kind of crazy. All of a sudden, the Epstein files were gone. So I just want to give you that update. The holiday blackout, shut it down. No money, tell the kids that Trump canceled Christmas, that he sent, just like he sent these ICE agents and, these ICE thugs, domestic terrorists, the cowards with the scarves and the ski mask on. He sent them to Charlotte harassing people. Would tell them Trump and Pam Bondi sent ICE agents to the North Pole, and they kidnapped Santa Claus and Miss Claus, and they blindfolded them, kidnapped them, and took them somewhere, dropped them off in Central America. So Trump canceled Christmas. No Santa Claus, because he got deported. Him and Miss Claus got deported. So let's just make Christmas about just loving on and being with your family. All right. Hey, Miss Tell It Like It Is. Oh, thank you. I will share this. Thank you, Miss Tell It Like It Is. Exactly. I don't know exactly who Miss Tell It Like It is. You can just, if you're still watching, you got a chance, let me know who's watching. I can shout you out along with Mary Dixon, which is, of course, my mother. But yes, please share this episode. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click on the thumbs up, all right? That is so important because YouTube looks at that, and that will help YouTube when it's time for YouTube to monetize my channel, which will be soon, as soon as I get like 4 48 new subscribers. So please, you can copy and paste the link. You can share this episode. You can tag it and tell everybody to please click on the thumbs up. So like this and every episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you're watching me live, the show is interactive, like Miss Tell It Like It Is. You can jump in the chat room like Miss Tell It Like It Is did and let me know who's watching, or Mary Dixon. So anytime the show is live. But leave your comments in the comments section below. Even if you're not watching me live, whenever you're watching the show, please leave your comments below in the comments section. That is so important, because that's going to help a brother out. That's going to help a brother's business out. It's going to help my media company. So shout out to Courtney Johnson, sponsor of the Geno Jones Show, Kojo LLC, Kojo LLC, real estate company if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Carolinas. You can go to kojollc.com, kojollc.com, or call Courtney, 843 area code 543-4022, 843-543-4022. Say, Courtney Johnson, I was watching the Geno Jones Show. We living in the Carolinas. We're looking to buy a home, or we want to sell a home, or we're looking to move to the Carolinas. Tired of this cold weather in the Midwest and on the East Coast, and we're looking to buy a home. She's got you. All right. Thank you for watching live, everybody. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Markell Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, on IG. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. KELBECUTTINUP. Kelby, cutting up. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. LX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. I love you. Thank you for watching once again. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Please click on the thumbs up. Tell everybody you know to subscribe to the channel. Put a post out. Do a little video short for me. Put a post up on social media. Do me a little short 30-second, 60-second video telling everybody it's so important they support Black-owned media and the Geno Jones Show on my YouTube channel and my media company, Geno Media. And if you would like to support the show financially as a sponsor, you can reach out to me. Use my email, GenoJonesShow@gmail. That's how you spell it, GenoJonesShow@gmail. And I'll tell you how you can be a sponsor. Or if you like to support the show financially via Zelle or Cash App, you can Zelle your financial support or financial gift. No amount is too small or too large. Use my email address, GenoJonesShow, that's how you spell it, once again, @gmail, GenoJonesShow, or you can Cash App. Use the address $Dad G Jones. $, D, lowercase a d, capital G J, lowercase ONES. That's $Dad G Jones on Cash App or Zelle. Use my email address, GenoJonesShow@gmail. We'll see you live Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Stand up, Chicago. I see you 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast tomorrow afternoon or Tuesday afternoon, depending on when you're watching the show. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.